I was born on June 6, 2000, to a piano teacher. What are the odds? Of all the people born in the world, how am I lucky enough to stumble into this fate? Who knows who it would have become if I wasn't born into my mother's care and interbred into her career? At 6 years young, she dropped the inevitable question, do I want to play piano? The judgment that led to the agreement to this pact was also the judgment that decided that my paintbrushes needed a haircut. This is art sin, by the way. My 6-year-old reasoning also didn't account the large impact that this ivory keyboard would make on the rest of the time I was alive on this planet. How it would completely change everything I was and everything I do. When I agreed to those piano lessons, I agreed to a lot of success and experiences, but also years of frustration and angst. Maybe it's better I didn't know about this, or else I might have reconsidered the possibilities. As a child only starting elementary school, playing music affected my malleable brain and the way I learned and matured. There's an abundance of studies that prove that playing an instrument as a child increases your motor and reasoning skills, as well as growing your emotional maturity and social skills. Some even suggest that playing music increases school grades and emotional development. As a kindergartner, I don't remember any of this seriously affecting me. However, my mom recollects that I was much more advanced and quick than the rest of my age group. My experience, on the other hand, can't be reduced to numbers and studies. You cannot truly experience the angst and frustration of playing piano unless you sit down on that cold, hard wooden bench and play the same measure 50 times without any improvement, no matter how fast, slow, out of rhythm, in key, out of key, in context, or out of context you practice it. Given, any instrument can give way to hard work and frustration. However, my mother swears on her own blood that if someone knows how to play the piano, they can learn any instrument with relative ease. After all, using all 5 fingers on both your hands simultaneously on a keyboard made of 88 keys can't scare anyone. At age 6, I was bombarded by the workload and stress put onto me by my 6-year-old teacher. She was a tiny woman, who was as tall as I was at the time, which is truly saying something. But by God, the amount of spunk and confidence she held could make a tree uproot itself, grow 10 fingers, and play Rachmaninoff's Prelude in C-sharp minor just from a single dirty glance at it. I have shed rivers of tears for countless pieces I have played over the course of 9 years, which has taught me endurance and hard work. To this day, I still cry sometimes, but as I said, you can't judge until you sit on that cold wooden bench yourself. Piano obviously gives way to recitals and competitions in order to show off that immense workload that you put on yourself. To anyone that doesn't know me on a very personal level, I am ridiculously competitive. It immensely shapes my personality and often runs my ego and self-confidence. This originated, again, from performing in front of crowds. To imagine being put on stage, expected to give perfection itself a sour name, gives way to pressure of unexpectedly large amounts. Public speaking for me is a very simple task compared to the absolute, tangible pressure a crowd pushes on you when all you have is your sole memory of a piece and a 1,200-pound instrument to orchestrate with. As now an 8-year-old, being put in this extreme environment of a fall cloud of judging and attention is hard to bear. Imagine your 8-year-old self. Now, imagine your 8-year-old self in front of hundreds and hundreds of eyes interpreting your act, or worse, 1 or 2 paid members to critique and judge your every movement of hand, your every breath, your every movement. The next following moments I remember so clearly and detailed, despite only being close to 2 minutes long. At this point, please close your eyes so you can better imagine the narrative I'm about to tell, and enjoy the stock footage sounds that I took hours to put into this video. Please enjoy. I was in a dank marble building in Indiana State University, awaiting to walk in the door and play for a few judges inside the 2 double doors leading to the concert hall. As a runner pokes their head out the door and calls my name, I slowly stand up and slip inside the dimly lit seating area. As I slowly walked down to the stage, I could feel the pressure warping time, making each footstep last thrice as long as a normal step would. I slink onto the stage and hear the slightest shifting of weight and breathing of the judges. I sit on the bench, cold and terrified, as my prepubescent legs swing tentatively above the ground. The cold. The creeping cold that follows my fingers. In the summer, even when it's 90 degrees, to this day, I shiver and wear gloves no matter what I wear or what I'm playing for. My fingers don't move, and I watch the empty keyboard glare at me. They won't move, or won't move fast enough. All I have now is instinct. My adrenaline has kicked in, and my reasoning has been thrown out. All I can do now is pray to every god you can name that you will not fail. As I put my fingers onto the keys, I feel the eyes shift to me. Everyone looks at me. Only me. I am the only thing that exists for them. Only me. The fingers move mechanically, the way I move them every time I play. I don't think. I pray. I'm not even religious, but for 5 solid minutes, I will kiss God's shoes if I can play my piece gorgeously without a single flaw. Unfortunately, in the middle of my performance, my instinct fails me, and I am left stranded and terrified in front of an audience of harsh eyes. My terrified 8-year-old mind goes blank. I am left dumbfounded and unable to remember where or when I was. I sit at the piano in complete silence as I let my hands slowly slide down the keys onto my lap. I remember sitting there, staring at those white and black keys for what seemed like an hour. I can't remember anything about the piece. After days on end of repetition and angst, this is what I deserve? I could feel the room collapsing on my shoulders. I don't truly know how long I sat on that bench staring at the ivory, but as soon as I was able to recollect any part of this damned piece, my fingers automatically leapt onto the whites and continued playing with as much vigor as half-frozen fingers can accomplish. I finished the piece, and curtly bowed before hurrying out the door with my music. I sprinted to my mom, and did nothing but cry for what seemed for like a solid hour. No amount of language or description can make you truly be put there in that 8-year-old's shoes. It seems silly to be scared of 2 people who are only there to help and encourage you, but to me, it might have been one of the most traumatizing things I've ever experienced, being put in front of a judge. Mother eventually calmed me down and assured me that I played beautifully, and well despite my slip-up. Later, when the competition results rolled in, I was also comforted by the 2nd place they ranked me in. Maybe they rewarded me out of pity, or maybe I did genuinely play beautifully. I'll never know. This is one of the many mistakes and experiences that eventually led to a large buildup of crowd control and immense self-confidence. Some years later, after that incident, I won 2nd place every year afterward, performance becoming easier and easier every time. Recently, I won 1st place in the Boise Sonatina competition 2 years in a row, and won $200 in prize money. This is what slowly egged the stream of competitiveness, and what influences how I act today. My mother led me to meet so many people in my life. As my mother taught mostly kids my age at the time, and even some of my classmates, I made a lot of friends and have many fond memories with many of them. I played many duets with them and had a very fun time experiencing piano together with them. When we didn't spend time at the keyboard, I have so many memories of us making crappy videos or jumping on our trampoline while simultaneously discussing Percy Jackson, or running through the sprinkler and kicking spring bamboo shoes on our front lawn. The artist quality of piano might have pushed along my interest in art and expression as well, which is now a gargantuan part of my life. Piano has obviously given me so much opportunity and strength in so many places, but what makes me all the more thankful to my mother is how many future opportunities my ability can take me. My confidence and competitiveness will be likable in jobs, and winning all those competitions will look good on a resume. I could apply for amazing college scholarships that require piano or music to enter. I could even use my ability as a career opportunity, and make a decent amount of money for a teenager, as people are looking to hire pianists for events, and many churches offer better than decent wages for pianists. My mother and my fate of being born to her will continue to be a driving force in all the ways my life can ever unfold. I am excited to explore everywhere else my mother's gift will bring me to.